In Our Day is the new movie by Hong Sang-Soo. This is his 30th film, and if you're watching this thinking, 30 movies? Who is this filmmaker? Don't be alarmed, because I didn't know who this filmmaker was until just a couple years ago. I first stumbled upon his work with the movie The Novelist film, and the beauty of Hong Sang-Soo is that you can start anywhere. Each of his movies have a very similar style to them. Hong explains his movies to be domestic realism. They are slow-moving stories about everyday dilemmas, relationships, and the artistic pursuit often enough. Most of his characters are writers, actors, filmmakers, but they're all seen for the most part off the camera. They're usually in a room, a kitchen, sometimes a cafe, and they're usually drinking tea, coffee, or soju. Some of his most popular works include The Woman Who Ran, which you might recognize that poster. Also, Right in Front of Your Face, and On the Beach at Night Alone. A handful of his movies also take a more experimental route, some of those being ones like Grass, last year's In Water, and my personal favorite of his, Right Now, Wrong Then. And here we are with In Our Day, which is a pretty straightforward movie from him that does have a cool trick up its sleeve. We are presented with two stories. One about a 40-something-year-old actress who is living with her friend who has a cat. They get a visitor who is an aspiring actress, and the two of them have these conversations about acting and what it brings out of them. On the other story, we have an aging poet who is gaining popularity from young people, and the young artists are trying to interview him, but he is tempted to drink and smoke alongside them, but he shouldn't because his health is deteriorating. And these two stories go back and forth. They share connections as the film goes on. Specifically, a dish that one of our characters likes to eat with pepper paste is also enjoyed by another character from the other story the exact same way. And if there's a developing theme on In Our Day, I would say it's wisdom. There is a lot of wisdom coming out from this movie, a lot of which makes really good one-liners on here. I was watching the movie and kind of hoping to retain some of the information that was fed to these characters. And there's really nothing quite like the work of this filmmaker. You put these movies on, or if you're lucky to see them in theaters, sit and look at a portal into another life. There's really no gimmicks here. The end credits usually are about 45 seconds, and it is exposed there that these films are written, directed, edited, photographed, everything by Hong Sang-Soo. And despite comparisons with filmmakers like Eric Rohmer or, in my opinion, Joe Swanberg, you know a Hong Sang-Soo movie when you see it. That being said, does In Our Day make for a good introduction for this filmmaker? Yes and no. While the time spent watching this movie feels more substantive than some of his other works, it doesn't really have the offbeat charm that a lot of his other movies also have. I'm biased, so I think a movie like The Novelist film is a great starter, but I thought last year's In Water made for a very good introduction to this filmmaker. Still, I just want to cap this off by stating once more, this is one of my favorite filmmakers, working period. It is such a privilege looking at what's playing around me, and I see it's a new Hong Sang-Soo movie, and I'm there the first showing of the day. Does this one reign as one of my favorites from him? I don't really think so, but I'm happy to say this is another great entry from this seriously terrific filmmaker. And later this year, we are planning on getting the new Isabelle Huppert collaboration with Hong, and I'm very excited to see this movie. But for now, In Our Day, I would give this a 7.3. It is playing in select theaters now and released by Cinema Guild, so check it out if it's around you. Thank you for watching.